Okay, let's go.
He wants to jump
1,000 cars. Sir, you have 1,000 cars.
I don't think I'd attempt to try this stunt.
Or we owe this horsepower to Uncle Sam.
Too many cars.
Car.
Roses would be.
Like I put my beer belly on it.
If you can't immediately tell somebody how many cars you have,
You'll really give those uppity yuppies something to think about.
Stay on the bar. Don't go off the bar with your Bronco.
1980 Volvo horns, what's right? I want a man's coolant.
and he's like, "Oh, I thought it'd be small. It's for a small car." And I'm like, "Yeah, but it's still an automatic transmission. They're never going to be light."
It's definitely going to have to crash.
Starting off with Brad buying another car.
That's the West. Internet.
Is this a Nigerian oil print?
I also wish you drove a tan Camry.
Anyways,
Anyway,
that's a
horrible,
very
horrible podcast content.
very
Talking about a picture.
inside joke.
It loves to be driven hard.
Welcome to Out Off Topic. How are you, Brad?
Andrew, I am wonderful. Just realizing that I don't have my headphones turned on and I can hear you through the speaker. So hopefully there's no feedback.
No, I think it was fine. I didn't hear anything.
Excellent.
You even got me on well, it came through your speakers, so I guess it was all right. What do you got going on out there? Anything? Because I got nothing. Another week of nothing. I've been really slacking with car stuff, except for the little cars, but
That is unfortunate to hear. I've done some stuff. Not a lot of stuff. Not nearly as much as I would like to have done. But also, you can't really beat yourself up too bad because normally we record on Thursday and today's Tuesday. So you've only had 4 days since we last recorded, technically. So I don't think that you could beat yourself up too bad about doing nothing for a week because you can't. I will fill in the hole. How's that sound? I have
okay. Sure.
I have done some things. I do not remember if I discussed it at all or not, but did I talk about the Lancer on here?
You didn't. You didn't cover fixing it the other week. You
wasn't quite done
actually,
yet the other
after the
week.
podcast, were like, "Oh, I forgot to talk about fixing that," because it is
Yeah.
kind of interesting. It's been a bit of a battle. So, how'd that get
It
fixed?
has been a bit of a battle. So, not my car. I do not have a Lancer. There's not. I mean, I do have a Lancer. I have a '78 Colt, which is a Lancer, but there's no like secret car here. We're not talking about. This car belongs to Naomi's daughter's boyfriend, Roberto. I talked about his Jetta on here before. This is his Lancer that we bought to replace the Jetta because the Jetta. Never mind. Very long story. Anyway, I thought and figured that buying a 2000 and it's either 04 or 05, I think it's an 04 Lancer OZ Rally with the 2.0 liter would be a very simple car, a very reliable car, and one that we didn't have to worry about too much. Well, about 2 weeks ago, he started having problems where it would start slowly. I don't know if I talked about the whole thing with emissions in the past before either, but there's a whole thing before where we couldn't get a sticker, not a sticker, we couldn't get it through emissions because the check engine light burned out.
Yeah, and I don't think you ever updated us that you did replace it, the bulb.
Yes, I did replace the bulb. So we
Was just
eventually
the
got
bulb.
it past. Yeah, it was just the bulb. They went through emissions. There was no problems. Everything is hunky dory, ready to go. So it did require. When I bought the car, there were 2 boxes in the trunk of O2 sensors. So I thought for sure there was going to be a problem where it was following O2 sensors. And I looked up how much a catalytic converter was before we even bought the car. And it was, less than $100 online. So I went into it knowing you would probably need O2 sensors and a cat, which it did. So we did that, got the codes all cleared, went to get a sticker, couldn't get a sticker because the bulb wouldn't light up. They wouldn't even plug in the thing to figure out what was going on. Anyway, pulled the cluster apart, put a bulb in it. The car is now legally registered, plated, the whole 9 yards, so that's good. But it no started the other day after it had started by doing a slow crank in the morning. And it acted almost like an old carbureted car. Like if you gave it a little gas, it would eventually fire up, which It's probably not ideal because it's not an old carbureted car. So we got to figure out why it's doing this. So you go down the road of what would cause this problem. And the easiest thing is you check for, fuel, spark, air. It's a car, right? It's got to be one of those things. There was fuel getting to it, but we weren't clear on the pressure. And one of the things we thought was that because it was starting slow in the morning, maybe the fuel pump was starting to die, and the fuel pump finally just died. So I looked up what a fuel pump cost. They were like $35. I was like, let's put a fuel pump in it. It is what it is. There's no codes, so there's nothing we can really read. So rather than like take the car apart and like see if the fuel pump worked or how much pressure it was putting out, it was like for $35, we'll just buy a fuel pump. So I put a fuel pump in the car, and the car still no start. Okay. Interesting. It did have spark. It did have fuel. The car should just start. Oh, what else could cause it? Who knows? There's only 2 sensors really that would stop the car, maybe 3 depending on how often coolant temp sensor would be. And Mitsubishis are known for having bad coolant temp sensors, as we know from our past. So I was like, well, the cam sensor and coolant temp sensor are also really cheap and they're really high up on the engine. Let's do a cam and coolant temp sensor because they're right there. So I slapped those in the car, still no started. I'm like, well, this is frustrating. Now it's been a couple days and they have 2 cars, but have been sharing 1 car now and the lamp has been down. I'm like, well, the only thing left is the crank sensor. Ordered a crank sensor. Had it waiting to go. Started looking up how to do the crank sensor, which thank you, Andrew, for finding me the factory service manual online. That helped a lot. Figured all that out. The crank sensor on these cars, and I'm not, all my cars are old. I've never really had to deal with cam and crank sensors before. Um, I did a cam sensor on my old Audi A4, but that was simple. Is it common, Andrew, for crank sensors to be buried up in behind the timing belt?
Yeah, because it needs to have the shutter wheel on the crank sprocket.
Right. Usually I thought it was in the front they put it, but I guess not.
Not always.
So anyway, it was behind the timing belt, which is obviously an incredibly fun place to have to get access to. So the car was dead, not at my house, so not in my garage with a nice functional new air conditioner. They don't live too far away, so we considered pushing it or flat towing it, getting it down here, but then it was gonna require the whole like car shuffle and pushing the car around the backyard with the where it's not paved and it's like crushed stone. It's a pain to push cars around. It's just like, and for some reason here in March it's over 100 degrees already. It's like 30 degrees over the temperature it's supposed to be, which is incredibly frustrating. If it's 30 degrees over the temperature it's supposed to be come July and August, we're going to be in trouble. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But it was already 103 degrees here on Friday and Saturday. So on Sunday I was like, you know what? We'll just get an early start. They have a little carport at their house. We'll push into the carport, get it in the shade, and we'll start working on this thing. So I fought with it for a bit, get the wheel off, requires taking off the alternator belt, the power steering belt, the power steering bracket, the timing belt cover, and obviously the crank pulley as well. Had to go get a special tool for taking the crank pulley off because obviously when you turn the crank pulley, the whole engine spins, which is fun, of course. Mitsubishi makes a special tool which you can't get, but it seems that most modern cars, and again, Andrew, you have more experience with modern cars than I do, they have these little dowel holes on the crank pulley, and usually whatever manufacturer's special tool fits in these dowel holes. But they do make a tool that they sell at Harbor Freight for $30. That's like an adjustable width Y-shaped tool with interchangeable different pin ends on the end in millimeter sizes. So you can fit this universal special tool to the crank pulley. I've never dealt with this before. I thought it was a pretty slick little tool. It does this basically does the same thing that when I talked about doing the timing belt, the 944, I had that like that lock key that went on the flywheel. So it's just on a front wheel drive car. It's not as easy to access the flywheel as it is on a rear wheel drive car. So it has this special tool that goes on there, and then you set the pins inside the pulley, and then you know, put it so that when you're putting torque on the bolt, that tool is pushed up against something. In this case, we use the frame rail. That's where it wound up sitting, and was able to break the crank pulley loose. So, and then use the job holder, pull the crank off, and then had to figure out how to get in behind that timing belt without taking the timing belt off because it's got a fairly fresh timing belt on it. I did not want to get into that process. So, got it all apart. We were into it at that point for probably about 2.5 hours, maybe, and pull out the part from the box, and it is incorrect. So that was fun.
Cool.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. I've never seen one set up this way. When we unplugged the cam sensor harness is up by the valve cover.
Yeah.
That's where it plugs into the main engine harness. But when I had the timing cover off, I was looking and noticed that there was no wire harness going from the cam sensor up the timing cover. And then I realized that the wire harness from the main engine harness to the connector on the cam sensor is built into the timing cover.
Really?
Yeah. So when
I
you
didn't know that.
when you pull the timing cover off, you unplug the crank sensor. It's interesting. I've never seen a timing cover like this ever in my life. So the the crank sensor that I got, which was supposed to be for the correct car, had a harness on it that went off the crank sensor and then was supposed to be plugged in somewhere else, but was a long, like, 2.5 or 3 foot long harness, which would not work in this. I thought about trying to use it and just like routing the cable somewhere and plugging it into the main harness, but that was quickly changed when I realized that the connector was totally different as well. So I was like, well, this is obviously the wrong part. So I don't know if maybe the listing is screwed up somewhere, and because there's two different 2-liter Lancers, maybe that one's for a 4G63 Evo Lancer, and I have
Oh, maybe.
yeah, I'm not sure. Supposedly it was for this car, but obviously it's not. I also don't know because I've never been inside a later 4G63 where the crank sensor is on that. Does it have a shuttle wheel on that same style, or is it like an early 4G63 where it has the sensor on the back of the block? So,
No, I think they added a shutter wheel. I don't
did they?
remember though.
Yeah, I mean, it's more modern, so it makes sense. Anyway, probably had to. It's probably coil on plug versus the earlier cars that weren't.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to rake my brain back to when I owned one in 2004, somehow 22 years ago. But anyway, so look the part up online. They do stock it locally at O'Reilly's. We have a brand new O'Reilly's hub that's around the corner from us that has like every part in the world, which is excellent to have access to. Of course, the online part that I bought was like $27, and the one at O'Reilly's was $89. But que sera, sera, the car's apart, the part's in stock. We're going to do it. We're not waiting any longer. We'll suffer through the extra couple of dollars. So while I laid on the ground and contemplated life, staring up at the ceiling, Naomi very kindly ran out and picked that part up at O'Reilly's, and then also picked up lunch. So that was a good middle of the project respite. Once I got the part, got it all put together, got it put in the car, got the whole car put back together. I think the whole start to finish process was probably, I don't know, somewhere in the 3.5 hour range. Didn't seem too bad considering everything I had to do. If I take out the time waiting for parts or food, probably about 3 to 3.5 hours of like actual work time. Which a lot of that also was trying to figure out how to get the crank pulley off, and then waiting for Naomi again kindly to go get the tool from Harbor Freight and all those little things. But all in all, it wasn't too bad of a job. It would definitely be intimidating if you're not someone who wrenches a lot, but it was not too terrible for a backyard hack like myself. So get the whole car back together, get all the belts back on, back in the car. Car still won't start. Incredibly frustrated.
Okay.
Then my brain is just thinking back and forth and thinking of everything's been done. And I disconnected the fuel rail to see what the fuel was, and disconnected this. I'd done this. And plus, we've been trying to crank the car a lot. And I was like, well, there could be two things happening here now that we're at this point. the battery could be drained to a point where it's not spinning the motor fast enough to start the car. And also, there could be air in the fuel system because everything's been cracked open. And I might just need to like be patient, get some charge from this battery, cycle the key a bunch of times to try to get it to prime the fuel system a little bit more. And thankfully, with the big jump back on there and a few primes of the key, the car fired right up. And knock wood, it's now Tuesday afternoon, and I haven't gotten the call that he's broken down on Monday or Tuesday driving to and from work. So all is well in the world of the Lancer. So
Good.
not the end of the world, but the frustrating thing to me is I don't have a fancy scan tool. I just have like a code reader, and there are no codes. So I couldn't go in there and like try to trigger things or see what was and wasn't reading. Like if you have a fancy scan tool, sometimes you can get in there and crank the car and see if it's not seeing a signal from the crank sensor or something like that. But in this case, I had to kind of fly a little bit blind because again, there were no codes had shown at all, which I also thought was strange. But obviously the part was failing. That's why the long crank for a few days, and then just one day just not working at all. So in between there's all kinds of other diag stuff that happened, checking every fuse 1,000 times and switching relays from one to the other and all that stuff. But I'm glad the crank sensor did it because at that point, there's not much left to change except for maybe the ECU. So it is what it is, but it's good to go. The weird thing was that when I was testing for spark, I was getting spark. And I would think if the crank sensor died, I wouldn't be getting spark. But I guess maybe what was happening was it was not reading properly and it was just sparking whenever it felt like it. Maybe it was not the correct spark. I don't know. But we're good now. Car runs. That has taken quite a few of my project car evenings the past few days, past week or so, I should say. So I haven't gotten much done of my own stuff, but I can put a massive thanks out to Mike from Italian Design and Racing. He fixed up the gas tank in the Starion. I think I said that last week, but I have it back in my possession now.
Yeah.
So
Good.
the plan was to get in this weekend, but we got a little derailed with other stuff going on. Not blaming Roberto's Lancer. I had other non-car related things also going on this weekend, so just got busy. But that will hopefully be painted either tonight or tomorrow, and I can get it back in the car. And this weekend is kind of a loss because I'll be going to the Prescott Forest Rally, so that will be Thursday to Sunday morning. So if you're in the Prescott area or the Phoenix area and you want to check it out, Friday night there is a spectator stage. So if you go to either the Prescott Rally homepage has some info, but I found it easier to find on Findlay Subaru's website, the information for the actual special stage. So it's they've never had a spectator stage at the Prescott Rally before, so this is, or not in recent memory anyway. So this should be a neat little addition to it. So, and if you're up there, look for me. I'll be there somewhere. I'll either be working
Nice.
with some of the staff up there, or I'll be riding 000 car with Mike in the Lamborghini again this year. So we'll see. Up in the air a little bit, plans wise. But that's this weekend. Like, as in, that's why we're recording on Tuesday, not Thursday. That's why you've only had 4 days to get progress stuff done. That's why it feels like you haven't done anything, Andrew. It's only been 4 days.
True.
3.5, really. Plus, you guys had a busy weekend, getting fresh maple syrup and whatnot. So you couldn't work on cars.
It was sugar weekend, I guess. I didn't realize that was like all these years we never really went to New Hampshire during like mud season or end of the winter. But that's mapling season. But apparently it was like a big weekend because the temperatures were right. The trees were running with sap and a bunch of local, it's just very common. There's local sugar houses that a lot of them have like open houses. They're like, hey, come by, watch us make sugar because they're gonna probably buy some maple syrup. Which
Yeah, you're gonna buy expensive maple syrup from them, so they'll invite
it
you
was
up.
actually less buying direct than like buying the fancy maple syrup from some country store or something.
Well, if you buy fancy maple syrup from the country store, you have to pay the Canadian maple syrup mafia their cut. So
No, not if it's Vermont or New Hampshire
no, I
maple
know.
syrup. This was maple syrup right out of the
It's pretty
boiler.
amazing. Yeah.
I'm not like I've never been that big on like maple flavors, like whatever. But you just grow up on kind of the synthesized stuff, and then the real stuff, and yeah, it does taste a little better. And then, but it turns out like that stuff's probably like blended, and this stuff from like the local farm. Whoa, like
Yeah.
like mind blown how good it tastes.
Yeah, it's
Like
really, really good.
like they gave like shooters to us as like walked in like try it.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not gonna drink syrup. And you drink it, and you're like, I want to drink more syrup.
Yeah, you're like I could drink a bottle of this.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
it's like going to an actual beekeeper's like honey farm, like having the actual like fresh bees waxed in little tubes, like direct from like fresh honey. Like it's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised in your 40 question mark years of living in New England, you've never been to a maple house before.
Yeah.
Especially you spent so much time skiing in New Hampshire. I'm very surprised.
Probably because I was like turned off on maple stuff because it's like usually the fake flavor. It's not very good. It's like,
Yeah, maybe.
but yeah, it's like it's pretty good. It's definitely
Yeah,
worth.
no, it's really, really good.
Yeah. So, um, yeah, that
Like
was
your
it.
whole week of New England stuff made me jealous about not being in New England because I was like,
Yeah.
oh, spring in New England is the best.
Come to find out, there's some places that will boil hot dogs in the boiler as they're doing it. I'm like, that sounds pretty good too.
That sounds like the best hot dog water I've ever heard of.
Yeah, maple flavored hot dog water, which probably would just taste like maple smoked bacon.
Yeah, I probably would. That would
Yeah.
probably be delicious, and I am
So,
100% in.
but
Nope,
anyway,
that's
yeah.
that's very cool. Anyway, total aside,
I
but
think I mean, we are driving the Volkswagen around, going to these things, and I started hearing a thumping noise, and it's either the snow tires are junk because they're 5 years old, or it's got a wheel bearing that needs to be replaced. But then I noticed like the noise is not there the last couple days. I'm like, that's a little weird. I don't think it was the road surface we were on. It was just like a
mm,
real steady thump.
well, the good
So
news is that if it is wheel bearings, it's not a Subaru.
yeah, I assume. I don't know. I think the knuckles are aluminum on these cars. I'm not sure. I'll find out when I switch to the summer tires in a couple weeks. If it
Yeah,
doesn't go away, then yeah, we're on to a wheel bearing, I guess. At least
I don't think it's
my
terribly, terribly difficult in that car.
no. At least my dad invested in those chassis ears, so can nail it down. Probably a
Yeah,
lot easier.
exactly. Forgot about those.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, what else you got going on, Andrew? You don't play a game?
Shall we play Craig Craig? Don't tell me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should. It's been entirely too long.
All right.
Give
Got a
back all the hits.
couple.
Last week we had questions. This week we have quick or tell me.
Yeah. I've got a
Next
couple.
week we'll put effort in.
They might work. They might not work. It's tricky. We're low effort podcast. People are doing low effort Craigslist posting.
That's a valid point. We can't complain, I guess.
All right. I'll go first. Because this one, even though it's light on specs, you'll probably get it maybe from the description because it's decent. So, step into the legacy of blank with this stunning blank convertible, a classic crafted for the adventurer with an eye for elegance. This meticulously refurbished blank is not only a head turner but also embodies blank, timeless charm and rugged capability, finished in a radiant alpine white. The Nantucket Nomad blank exudes, timeless blank heritage with modern flair. Brand new tan soft top, matching soft top frame, complement the warm, custom cream interior, complete with hand stitched dash and door panels, custom wood steering wheel, brings sophistication to every journey. A fully serviced, powerful engine, heritage grille, LED lighting ensure this convertible is as capable as it's stylish. Designed for both rugged adventures and coastal escapes. Um, let's see. The new Puma bonnet, heritage grille, alpine white, color drenching, and distinctive flair. Anything else? Let's see. It's gonna be of Goodrich tires, tow bar, hitch. Any guesses?
I know what it is. You said too much. I hate this guy. By the way,
Did I?
He's not my friend.
Okay.
Yeah, his description just makes me want to punch him in the face. But this is obviously a Defender 90.
Yes.
So, yeah, I mean,
Was
there's
it the
not many
Nantucket
other.
Nomad? Is that a model? Did I give it away?
I mean, that gave it away a little bit. That was just like you described the person like he's a Nantucket nomad. He lives a nomadic lifestyle where he goes between his 4 multi-million-dollar mansions. No, it was the Puma bonnet. That's like a cowl induction hood for a Defender 90.
Okay. See,
Yeah.
that's a nerd thing. I wouldn't know.
No, it's not a nerd
That's pretty
thing.
deep.
It's an idiot brain that remembers the stupidest things. I used to work at that online car auction,
Yeah.
so I distinctly remember them coming through with a Puma bonnet. A bonnet also made it British,
Yeah.
but a Puma bonnet. Am I not wrong? It looks like kind of like a cowl induction hood style for
Yeah, it's not bad.
it's like raised in the center. Yeah. It's
So
dumb.
this thing is triple cream. It looks pretty good actually. I don't hate
Listen,
it.
they're not bad looking vehicles. That hood is dumb, but they're not bad looking vehicles.
But for 75K,
I'll buy 6 Wranglers.
it's really disappointing that you put eBay LED headlights in it.
Yes.
It would look gorgeous with a set of just normal, actually, vintage diodes does some nice LED
Yeah. Come on out
headlights.
here for Barrett Jackson, and you'll see all of the 6-figure cars with eBay headlights in them, and it will just make you want to gouge your own headlights out. They're terrible.
It is a manual. But yeah,
Is it actually a modern one, or is it an old one?
it's a 90.
Okay. I
Sorry,
never
a
understood the
1999.
value. Okay, so it's imported.
Yeah. So it's
I
gray
never
market.
understood the value of those because I guess it's just a badge, right? It's just like a fancy handbag. Like they're expensive because they are.
Yeah.
Because there's so many better vehicles out there for $75,000 that perform better or the same. Like, how many first gen Monteros could you buy for $75,000?
This is a big
75.
time Nantucket flex out here.
Like,
And,
it's a big time flex everywhere. It's a big time Scottsdale flex. Like, I see
yeah.
them here too.
But yeah, first gen, if you imported a first gen Montero that was convertible, way cooler. Way cooler.
Yeah. What do they call it? J top?
Yeah.
Probably into it for sub $7,000.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
Anyway.
All right, from
Cool.
yours.
First one.
Yep.
Let's see. Let's go with this one here. Blank. 32,000 miles. 351 Cleveland, rebuilt just short 500 horsepower. New clutch and center force disc. 10-inch wide front and 13-inch wide rear rims to match the wide fender flares. These are new GR4 magnesium wheels that I've owned for 30 years. Recaro seats in black interior. GTS dash clock with very misspelled Blaupunkt radio. He says Blaupunkt radio. New radiator with 3 fans. Great color for a GTS. Initially sold in Europe. The flares are molded better than the factory versions. These blank are rarer. First ones imported through blank dealers were 1,288. This one is number 1749. Believed to be the first blank built by blank.
Okay.
That's about it.
I
did give you one clue that was too
hold
much.
on.
But
Well, yeah. I might not have caught it because I'm not as good as at remembering Carfax as you. I'm going for it's a McLaren Fox body.
351 Cleveland. McLaren Fox
Ford
body
engine.
would be a 302.
You could shove a 351 in there.
I guess.
Big flares.
It
351.
says 10-inch and 13-inch wide wheels. 10-inch wide front, 13-inch wide rear. and made in magnesium. He's owned for over 30 years.
Cleveland. Oh. Is this like a
The rears are 13 by 15s, and the fronts are
is this like a super
50 by.
performance
Nope.
Cobra? No?
Nope.
Not a super performance Cobra.
It is a
So
GTS dash clock.
GTS.
It's a big
GTS.
giveaway.
Oh. It's a Hennessy. No, it's not a Hennessy
Nope.
Viper. That doesn't make sense.
Nope. Doesn't make sense at
Viper
all.
GTS.
What car also is called the GTS? GTS is a trim package on these cars. There was a base and a GTS. They were Ford-engined European cars.
Oh, Pantera.
It is Pantera, yes.
There we go.
I guess you didn't officially say Hennessy Viper, so I won't count that as a guess. So you did get it in your third guess, so you are good.
All right.
This man does not know what he has, or thinks he has more than he has. It's a custom molded wide body 71 Pantera. It does not come factory with the wide body. The wide body on the factory cars looked terrible, but better than this. And he's
Yeah.
claiming it's the first GTS, which is not true because I don't think they made a GTS in 71. I think GTS was 74.
I would be curious
So-
to know. You can shout out on the Discord if you got that before I did. So,
Everyone did.
and again, what we'll do is we'll post them like a few days after the episode airs.
Yeah,
So-
I'll have to remember to save these links.
Yep.
Hopefully they're still up.
I just leave the tabs open. All right.
All right, sir.
Let-
I'll give that one to you. That
Let's
one's
see.
it's only $135,000 if you want to buy it.
Oh my gosh. All right. This is a package deal. It's 2 cars, but we'll just
Sweet.
have to guess the one.
That's my kind of car, my kind of deal.
Yeah.
More
All
coverage.
right. Numbers matching. This car is found in Connecticut, stored in garage. It's a mid to late 1990s. I bought the car in Maine after the second owner got it running. Car will need complete restoration, but it's unmolested, true blank with all original parts. We'll need trunk pans, rear quarter panels, front fenders. Doors seem pretty good. Vinyl top shows some bumps underneath, indicating rust. Details: so hard top, black vinyl top, 400 cubic inch motor, 4-barrel carb, Warwick blue interior with Warwick blue exterior with blue interior, highway headlights, power antenna, rally 2 wheels. That's about it. I don't know if you can get it from that.
You said this was early 90s?
It's been stored in a garage since the mid to late 90s.
Oh, okay. I apologize. I thought you meant the car was that. And then your
Nope.
specs made absolutely no sense whatsoever. All right. A Rally 2s is Pontiac. Vinyl top is probably a Le Mans. So it's probably a 71 Le Mans or GTO.
So very close. I'll give it to
70 Le Mans or GTO.
69 GTO.
Okay. Yeah, I was even the right body style at that point.
Yeah.
There's no way to get the exact year. But yep, that one was too many gimmies. What's the second car in the ad?
See, I wouldn't have got it from that, but you're better at this than me. The second one is a 68 Pontiac GTO hardtop. So the guy's selling both of these out of his garage.
I like how it starts off so promising that it's going to be a nice garage find car. And then it's like, needs quarters, needs floors, needs rockers. I was like, oh, okay.
The second car looks really good. Running, driving, matching numbers, 4-barrel, April gold, vinyl top, April gold interior, his and her shifter, highway headlights, power antenna, original Rally 2 wheels. Runs excellent. We'll need some mechanical and body work to make perfect.
Yeah, the hideaway headlights was also the other clue that made it
Yeah.
not a Firebird.
But I mean, a running, driving GTO and that other GTO together, 25 grand. Actually, doesn't sound too bad.
The one that's you described to me is worth about 3. So
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Hopefully that
You're
one's
able to
really
look at the
nice.
pictures, and yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
looking at the pictures now of it. Yeah, it's absolutely worth 3 grand.
yeah. Just based on the description of it, having rust in the roof, needing quarters and floors and trunk floors and rockers and whatever else he said.
But even the running one, yeah, he's about
Yeah, no, I listen. If the running one's a nice car, then yeah,
no,
20 is about right.
no, he needs to be about half price on these.
Okay. Yeah, so real nice ones are obviously worth a ton of money still. You're still probably somewhere in the low 30s, I'd guess, for a decent like cruise night level driver. But depending on options and obviously automatic kind of hurts them, but I don't know. I like that body style for all the manufacturers, Buick, Pontiac, Chevy, Oldsmobile, like that like 68 to 72 kind of body style is real nice cars. Uh, A body, I think they're called.
Yeah.
Stupid brain. Too many numbers. All right, ready? This one's gonna be wild because even I didn't know this was a thing. So you're in trouble. Blank, blank, blank. Indoor storage since 1998. 1.8 liter twin carbureted engine, not twin cam, twin carbureted engine. No rust, Arizona storage. Would anyone like to buy this car? It is complete and all original. It's been sitting in storage inside at our dealership since 1999. Last started in 1999. It will probably need the dual carburetors rebuilt and a fuel pump, but it did run and drive fine when it was last parked. Quotations in 1999. This blank has 146,629 original miles with a clean title. These models were part of the 83 to 87 second generation with a 4-speed automatic or 5-speed manual. This has the 5-speed. It has factory power-operated tinted glass moonroof with a sunshade, factory air conditioning, brand new tires with no miles on them, up about 20 years old. If you're interested, you're welcome to stop in at our dealership, Phoenix Corvette Center, and make an offer. This Blake is a true survivor. It was one of the last second-generation cars to be produced before the automaker switched to the third generation. So we're talking about a car built from 83 to 87 with a 1.8-liter twin carb engine.
So it was built from 83 to 87 and then parked in 1999 when it was only like 20 years old, if that. 10 years old.
And yeah, about 13 years old.
1.8 liter
Or
dual
if it's
carb?
83. 1.8 liter twin carb,
Twin carb.
5-speed manual, factory power moonroofs, factory air conditioning.
It's at a Corvette dealer, but it's not a Corvette dealer, but it's in their showroom.
It's at a Corvette dealer, but it's definitely not a Corvette. That's the reason I said that, because it didn't matter. In fact, this picture of the front of the Corvette dealer that they showed in the ad has 8 cars in it and exactly 1 Corvette. So I would not say that they're a very prolific dealer of Corvettes, even though they're called Corvette Center.
Whoa.
And the one Corvette has Lambo doors, so they're also suspect.
Whoa. 1.8 liter dual carb.
Yeah. I mean,
Carb
there's not a
moonroof.
lot of info that's important to the car, but that was wild enough to me that I had to bring this up because I don't think I knew that that was a thing.
You didn't know it, then I definitely don't know it.
It's not an obscure car though.
Oh, it's not
I'll give you a
obscure.
few more hints. It is front wheel drive,
Okay.
twin carb, front wheel drive, 5-speed manual, pop up headlights, 2+2 coupe configuration.
All right. Is Japanese? It's not Japanese.
It is Japanese.
It is Japanese.
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. Very, very mainstream automaker.
It's a Honda Prelude.
Yeah. After giving you all that info, you did get it correct. But yes, this is an 87 Honda Prelude.
That was like
Did you know you can get an 87 Honda Prelude with twin carbs?
that was a real shot in the dark. I don't know why.
Yeah. I had no idea a twin carb Honda Prelude was a thing still in
I
the
feel like
80s.
this like playing this game sometimes. You ever hear of, like remote viewing, where like people try to like see a place, like spy on a place without being there.
Sure.
So like as you're trying to describe this, I'm trying to like just picture what it is, and
Yeah,
then
of
like
course.
for some reason that came to me. I don't know why I said that.
Well, once you
Like
got Japanese and pop-up headlights and front-wheel drive, and I was like, it's a major automaker.
yeah, that's probably why. Weird.
Nonetheless, it's Prelude has always been such a weird car, and I
It's
mean
a
that
strange
in the
car.
most respectful way possible because they've always just put weird stuff in them, and everybody's real mad about the new Prelude that just came out. But when you think about it,
It's weird.
it really kind of fits the Prelude. Like Prelude has never been a standard car. Like it's always been something weird. And yeah, the new one is only available as a hybrid currently, which isn't what the enthusiast wants. But if you want to sell a personal coupe in 2026 and have people buy it, you probably got to make it attractive to non enthusiasts who just want a small personal coupe, right? Like make it a hybrid. Why not? I from what I've heard, it's actually a fun car to drive. It handles really well. It's same suspension as a Civic Civic Type R. So it's a super fun car. It's just not really fast. And sometimes I think that people forget that not every car needs to be real fast. Prelude's never been real fast. Prelude's always just been a cord platform car with a coupe body on it, and that's kind of what the new one is. Although the new one's a Civic platform because the Accord is so big now, but it's just the same formula, right? They take their economy car platform and put a two-door coupe body on it and call it a day. So I'm kind of a fan of the new Prelude. If I was looking for a simple daily driver and I had the budget for that kind of car, I can't see why I wouldn't buy one for a daily. It's a perfectly acceptable car.
Yeah.
And it's just like this old Prelude, I think. So this car's cool though, 146,000 miles. So it's not like a low mile cream puff. It's got some, dings and dents and wear, but nothing crazy. They don't have a price, unfortunately. Just says make offer. But I'd put it around.
Hmm.
So anyway, do you have any more?
I got one more. Maybe you'll get it. It's kind of interesting because I think I remember my mom saying my grandfather actually had this car or a car like this.
Okay.
And I think it's interesting. It's more interesting than other cars of that era that are more ubiquitous. So,
Your grandfather could have had one of any car ever made because he was around from the beginning of cars until now.
yeah, basically.
So
All right. Selling this blank sedan came from West Virginia. Over $6,500 spent in the last 5 months making this a driver. Sure. Um, Following is new tires, tune up, distributor, radiator, exhaust, transmission service, more. Front seat restored, painted 60% original, 40% newly done. Very solid for one of these. Real clean frame and floors. 325 V8. Push button power flight trans. This will probably give it away because there's not much else to it. Real cooled fin forward look blank. I think it's a lot of attention.
what was that? Real cool what?
Real cool finned
Oh, fin
forward
forward look.
look.
Okay. So there's not enough info here at the end of the ad.
No,
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
that's it.
Keep that you off. Oh, that is the end of the ad.
Yeah.
Okay. There's not enough info here to get an exact car,
Okay.
but I'm gonna guess it's a Mopar product.
Yes.
And it's gonna be 57 to 59.
Yes.
But I'd be a complete and total shot in the dark if I knew if it was a Chrysler, a Dodge, a Plymouth, or a DeSoto. So we'll just call it a Plymouth Savoy.
No. Dodge Coronet 57.
Dodge Coronet. Okay, yeah.
Pretty
Same
good.
same car.
Mhm.
Yeah, the engine and transmission gave it away, and then obviously finned forward look was the Dodge thing I think at the time, and finned era heavy before
So
1960.
I don't know if this is exact one, but my mom said that My grandfather had one of these push button low power cars. I forget which kind it
Yeah,
was.
they made
I'll
the
have to
push
ask
button
her.
for a few years. Or is that a square steering wheel one?
No, it's got a round steering wheel.
Okay, the square steering ones are cool.
That's
So those
weird.
cars were all designed by one guy called named Virgil Exner,
Yeah.
and
See,
he was
this
all
is
about
deep.
excess and like the extraness of cars of the era. Virgil Exner was Chrysler's version of Harley Earl, who was GM's big, jet age designer. So very cool stuff.
It's
Hey, what were you saying?
definitely I mean, it's as good looking as a 57 Chevy, or maybe a little
I
bit
think they're
better.
better looking. Yeah, I think they're better looking. They're way sleeker. They're way wider and longer.
It
The
definitely
57
looks like
Chevy.
something they would use now in the background of the Fallout TV show for
There's a
flashbacks.
there's a bunch of them in the Fallout TV show.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about that show is all of the 50s cars in that show. And they're all jet age stuff.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I am a huge fan of anything Virgil Exner. Super, super cool. Each designer has each manufacturer has like one period of designer that's like super iconic. And like I said, GM had Harley Earl, they had Virgil Exner. There's the stuff that was Dick Teague did for AMC in the late '60s and early '70s, the AMX and the Javelin, and all those. Like this is some designers just had a real flair that worked for these companies at the time. So those
It looks like it's got a
Chrysler products are one of my favorite.
single barrel carb, and then it says red Ram on the valve cover, but the engine is gray.
But the air cleaner is red.
It's black on this one.
Oh, okay. Either way, very cool car. I'm very into it, and I would totally drive one. But there's not much I wouldn't drive. So, all right, I got one more for you. All right, we'll wrap this segment up. All right, this is a blank 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 owned for 47 years, $19,500. Giving you the price because it doesn't actually matter because the car is not worth that money. Is it worth more? Is it worth less? That's for you to decide. But it is not worth $19,500. Blank blank classic, 47 years ownership. Description, colon. This gem has been owned and preserved by me for 47 years. Clean title. For decades, this classic blank was stored / covered in my carport, preserving the body and originality. It was recently moved to a gated outdoor storage facility. VIN and cowl tag intact. Matching numbers. Mechanically, the transmission and rear axle are original and matching numbers. The original 350 cubic inch engine has been replaced with a brand new 350. Sorry, let me go back in. He says some spelling here. The original 350 engine has been replaced with a brand new Crate 350 installed in approximately 1990. So brand new,
From 1990.
40 years old. To keep the car drivable and reliable. All other components are matching, and when needs replacement, parts installed are OEM. This blank classic is straight bodied, never in an accident, and has a solid trunk. Has original cloth interior, showing it is consistent with its 51 years of age. Has original glass windows, important, and instrument panel. The original hubcaps and beauty wings are included, preserving the car's authentic look. The windshield has been replaced once. The car was painted the original stock color. The vinyl roof was restored, original style, now showing age from the desert sun. Restoration. I began restoring the engine bay, which is why the car is currently not running. All oil and fuel are drained prior to disassembling. The car ran, I have video proof. Brand new parts not yet installed. OEM, Bosch, or Napa. Water pump, power steering pump, new parts installed, fuel pump, distributor, rotor cap, highlights, straight body, never an accident. Matching numbers, rear axle and differential. Transmission, rear end, original. Engine replaced, brand new 350 crate engine, 1990. Original VIN, cowl tag intact, yada yada. Photos from when it was stored and covered. Other photos of current condition after outdoor storage. Paint and clear coat now showing its age, and the vinyl roof weathered from outdoor storage. Documentation includes the VIN. Sure. Build details provided in the car's authenticity. Photos show the car's condition before and after outdoor storage, highlighting its honest patina. A video of the car running prior to the engine work is also available for serious buyers only. The photos shown in the current condition are after a fresh washing. When you inspect the car, it may be dirty. This is a collector quality blank with a rich history of extensive documentation of over 1,000 photos and videos of engine bay restoration. This is a great restoration candidate for a collector who wants an original car out history, a pro builder, or a resto mod enthusiast. Message me if you'd like to see the running video, additional photos, or come inspect the car. Price $21,500. If you like it on sale, in quotes, let's chat. Cash or cashier's check in person. So, there wasn't a lot of info about the car.
No.
But this guy's description made me bring it up to you.
Okay.
Because I have never, in all of my 7 or 8 years of living here, seen a rustier car from Arizona.
Okay.
His honest patina. I don't even care if you don't get this one right. I'm just so mad about this car in general.
Paint is just gone.
His honest patina is actual rust. Like, there's no paint on the edge of the quarter over the taillight, and there's a rust hole. The entire rear window channel, like below the window on the cowl and the quarter panels, rotted away. Like, there's not any interior left that's not torn or sunbaked or cracked. There's patch holes in the floor. I don't know what this guy is thinking, but what car would have a final top, a 350, an automatic, hubcaps and center caps, hubcaps and trim rings? Car near and dear to my heart. Your dad owned this same year.
All right. So it's like a 75 RS Camaro.
Okay, and maybe dad's was the RZ28, but this is a 75 LT.
Okay.
Has a broken grill. Pictures show it.
So rubber bumper car.
Pre-rubber bumper. This is an aluminum bumper car.
Oh, right. Yep.
Which I don't hate these cars.
No.
I like the aluminum bumper car. I think
They're
that
done-
when they're nice,
Yeah.
yeah. You tuck the bumper in a little bit. They have 74 and 5 still have that big back window.
Mhm.
Sorry, 75 has the big back window. 74 still has the small window.
Mhm.
So, but this is the big back window, but it's held in by hopes and dreams because that rust is getting pretty aggressive. And obviously, when he says it's been in outdoor storage recently is like in the past 10 years because the paint is gone. And then the pictures of it in his carport show nice paint. So there's a very big change of what this car has looked like over the past few years. It's a disaster. I can't imagine anybody paying more than $1,500 for this thing. But 19.5 or 21.5, depending on what part of the ad you read. So 47 years of ownership doesn't mean anything if you didn't keep it in good shape.
Mm-mm. Sure doesn't.
No. Is what it is. Could have been a nice car, but it's not. It doesn't even run. Like, brand new engine, 1990. So my guess is that whoever owned this car is probably very elderly. Based on the fact that they owned it 47 years. It used to be a carport and now it's outdoor storage, meaning they probably moved into like an assisted living facility or something. So sad, but unfortunately it's not worth anywhere near his hope. So this is the classic I'll retire on that car someday story, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bummer. It's
Sad,
like
but
sometimes if people could let go of stuff earlier, or at least get to it, or enjoy it, like so at least this thing sat in a carport, right, for 40 years and never enjoyed it.
I mean,
What was the point?
it's definitely been driven. And someone
Yeah,
who
you think
drove it.
so?
But
Okay.
no question at all. It's been driven. But I
All
mean,
right.
he put the engine in 1990, so he was driving it then.
Yeah.
That wasn't 47 years ago. So he's had it 47 years. Well, 47 years is what, 1979? He's owned it since.
Yeah.
So, nonetheless, I mean, listen, I own cars that I haven't driven in a very long time, and I'm trying to not be a jerk about it, but it is what it is. I get it. Time gets away from you. Next thing you know, it's been 10 years and 20 years, and I bought that 80 Cressida 4 years ago last month.
Yeah.
It's still sitting in my yard. But
I'll get to it someday.
it is the checks and balances I need is doing great.
It's good.
Don't tell me.
It's gonna gonna retire on that 80 Cressida.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
We're getting to the end here.
Yeah,
That's all we have for Craig, right?
That's it. Moving on. Segment over.
real quick, we'll cover a little bit of NASCAR and then we'll get out of here. Because it was a pretty darn good race. They went to
Very good
Darlington.
race.
Apparently, it was not an official throwback weekend. Just everybody's using it as a throwback weekend.
It's an
We were
alumni
misinformed.
weekend.
Yeah, they changed the alumni weekend, which is
I
cool
will
because
say
yeah, go ahead.
that I watched the race after
Yeah,
struggling with the Lancer all day,
yeah,
and my mood was immediately lifted by one boogity boogity boogity. Let's go racing, boys.
yeah,
That's all it took. To have
yeah.
DW back in the booth, even for the first stage only, it was
Hmm.
really cool to have that.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And I don't even know who was on the. Oh yeah, so you had 2311
Reddick and
front
Bubba on the
row.
pole.
Um, boy, poor Bubba had one bad pit stop and then just couldn't recover.
It wasn't the pit stop that caused his problem. It was the
Was it
impact when um, Hamlin got into whoever Hamlin got into, and then they checked. Somebody checked up. Hamlin got into him. Hamlin checked up, and Bubba got to the back of Hamlin, and Bubba hit the
Hamlin?
wall, and
Yeah, okay.
it
Hamlin
screwed
checked
up
up
Bubba's
in
alignment.
Hamlin checked up into one of the front
Fire.
legacy cars. It's like another
Okay.
Toyota. It was like
Yeah.
going super slow. It was weird. Like all of a sudden they were real slow, and Hamlin was hard
He was
charging and
pitting.
just yeah.
Yeah, he was
Oh
pitting, and is what it is. Nonetheless, or maybe he wasn't pitting. I don't remember, but nonetheless,
no,
he hit him. It put his car into Bubba's car. Bubba's car went into the wall. It bent his steering assembly in the front. His car was not fast anymore. So,
the pitting one was
Reddick.
who Tyler Reddick hit.
Yep.
Who was that? So
Um,
bad at this. I
Busher?
think yeah, you'd think we'd watch the race or not, but
What was this?
it's
43 drivers. We're terrible with names. It is what it is.
it was one of the
That was Busher. That was
RFK cars.
one of the RFK. Yeah. So is either Busher or Priest.
Yeah, it wasn't
So,
Keselowski who was running really well, actually.
yep.
I
Very
thought
well.
I thought it was Keselowski. Well, it was Keselowski's race to lose, really,
For sure.
because Reddick had some troubles early on, and then had to pit, and they had no charging system. Early, like the first lap, charging system went out. They like told them to shut off all the auxiliary systems,
Which shuts off as cool suit.
cool suit, AC, all gone. At one point, they came into the pits and put a bigger battery in.
Yep. It
And
was
you're
a
like,
brick.
man, that's not good. I don't know if they're gonna finish this race. And the guy won it, which is
Yeah. Again,
insane.
which is what, 4 out of 6 so far this
4 out
season?
of 6, which matches Dale Earnhardt and uh, Dale Elliott for the first
Yeah.
6. Uh,
Wild.
yeah, pretty
That's
wild.
some high praise. That's some legendary status up there.
I mean, he had a rocket ship of a car. Like even
Sure.
with the charging issue, he'd get out there and just start passing people. Uh, Blaney was doing well. Hocevar was doing well, like the best Chevy. Chevys were struggling until the end there. Hocevar like made up like 10 spots on the last like after that last caution. Um but yeah, they're talking about and Blaney was talking about it, the new package with the higher horsepower and less downforce is it's working. It's great. It's making some great
Yeah,
racing.
absolutely. Make really good racing.
Sure, give them more horsepower. Why not? Make them drive the car and less downforce. Drivers got to drive the car. And it seems like, you know, Hendrick and some other teams haven't quite figured it out. And clearly the Toyota teams and a couple of the Ford teams have figured it out. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's been all Toyota this year, really. I mean, they had the one Ford win with here in Phoenix, but it's been almost all Toyota.
yeah. So it is a good season to get back into NASCAR. The racing is really good. Um there's no more win and you're in the playoffs. You got to get the points. So having those points really matter is making people race for position so far all season that they aren't really trying to like, you could have had Reddick win the first Daytona and then just chill, right? For most of the season, just keep it clean.
The
Uh,
wildest thing is that he has about 100-point lead over second place, And then the difference between second and 16th is the same spread between him and second place.
Yeah.
Like, he could just park it the rest of the season and still make the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it turns out at the end in August when they pick the top 16. So it should be interesting. And then there's no more, like I said, there's no more knockout rounds at the end. So they're going to race till the end after the point. It's basically a points reset, which makes sense.
Sure.
And then you'll just have 16 guys race for the end. So far I'm excited. They've got, I don't even know what's coming up next.
Bristol.
Bristol. Sweet. That's a great race. So Bristol, and then they're taking a week off for Easter, and then yeah, should be good. It's worth watching. How about Sebring? Sebring was pretty cool. 12 hours Sebring.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
I watched the last few hours. The last like 2 laps were pretty insane with the GT cars.
The GTD car, not Pro. Yeah,
Okay.
it was what were the 2 cars? It was
Was the AO Racing was one of them, right? It's the pink car.
forget about it. I don't
We're
even know.
bad racing reporting podcasts because we just forget. We watch it, enjoy it. It was cool. I'll probably have to go watch the highlights again because it's a long race. But the last lap had like the prototypes racing for the lead and whipping through the slower classes as they're trying to race, as those slower classes are also trying to race for position. And it's another Porsche win. It was like the 20th overall win at Sebring for Porsche, which is pretty crazy. Corvettes couldn't seem to catch him, so that's unfortunate. But that's a cool race. I want to go back there someday. You looking it up?
It looks like it was the Ferrari and the Aston in GTD. So I don't know which teams they were, but definitely not AO because AO is a Porsche.
No.
So
Yeah, Aston is probably the heart of racing.
heart of racing. Yeah. And the Ferrari was Risi or something.
Probably, yeah.
Name.
But definitely worth it. Yeah. So there's a lot of good racing going on.
Absolutely.
Anything else?
I think we'll call it a day.
All right, cool. Find us on Instagram on Off Topic Podcasts. I am Racing Anger on Instagram. We get Scale Autocast. And Brad, where you can find you as you're taking a drink.
You can find me on Instagram at TSISS350. And I guess Threads the same occasionally. And Scale Autocast occasionally.
Yep. All right.
But that's
Message
about
us
the extent of
for
my social media lately.
yeah.
On
Message us
Discord,
for
of course.
access to the Discord. Discord's fun. And I swear I'll start to do some hold me accountable to do some topics. I got to do it. I've been busy, but
I have a couple I've been building up to have thought processes on.
all
So we
right.
gotta get there.
All right.
This week was unfortunately it's quick because we're doing it early. I have a hard out time tonight, and I'm not around on Thursday because of the rally. So
Yeah,
I have
I want to
the
hear about the rally next week. So
yeah.
all right, cool. Keep yours analog and aim for the roses.